name is Tolu Adeoti. I am a young person and a volunteer here at Teen Guide. I am passionate about helping young people like myself make better choices. I am
Good
currently...
evening.
Good evening. We're so happy to have you here.
Good evening. Of course, I'm a teacher and I like to shape lives, to impact lives positively.
Woo! Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Oh, we're so blessed to have you here. Good evening, sir. Let's keep them coming. Like I said, my name is Tolu. I am a young person and a volunteer here at Teen Guide, passionate about helping people like myself make better choices in life. I am a change maker, a leader, and today I am joining in from the US. So I am very, very happy to be here and to spend some time learning and growing also as a person. Oh, Mrs. Isabella says she speaks French. Oh, where's my basic French? Hey. Okay, it's Evelyn. So bonsoir. Ça va? I don't speak much French anymore. I have forgotten all the French I learned in secondary school, which is a shame, so I cover my face. Oh my God, hello, Demilade. You work yourself to death to improve yourself. I can assure you, Demilade, that life is only going to get tougher, but you have to stay on top of your game and you have to be optimistic that things would work out well. So don't worry. I'm also a student and I can tell you for a fact that school is driving me. It's making me a little, but we'll still stay on track, stay on course. I am so very happy to see all the interactions going on. And in the spirit of sharing, yes, Demilade is the next Elon Musk. I see Demilade doing great things and going great places, you know. In the spirit of sharing, I want us to share in the chat room what we're excited to learn about today. What are you looking to take out of this program or this whole initiative that we have going on? So I'm excited to see what we all have to say. I will start sharing myself. I am excited to learn other people's views because I believe the perspectives of others really matters in issues that are, oh, the word has skipped my mind. I wouldn't say controversial, that's the word I was looking for, but issues that some people do not necessarily have a problem with. But we can see that sex is basically everywhere, let's face it. In movies, anywhere you go, on the streets, in music, and whether or not we like it, it has an effect on us. We might not want to agree, but what we consume actually subconsciously actually takes a toll on us. And I'm a firm believer of that because that has happened to me many times. So I am just willing and ready to hear other people's perspectives and to see, you know, the struggles that young people have faced. I'm ready to learn what our parents have to tell us and what we can do to be better people. Oh, spot my Teen Guide shirt. I forgot to show you guys my shirt. I'm very, very proud. I'm very, very proud to be a Teen Guide ambassador. So what are we excited to take out of this event? Oh, okay. I want to really understand what is the big deal with sex and how we can deal with it. I think I am also very, very interested. I think I have a little knowledge, but there's never too much knowledge on topics like this, you know. So I'm excited that more people are joining. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep the comments coming. Let's keep it coming. I just want to see, let's see at least one more comment on what you're ready to take out, what you hope to learn and to gain from this. You know, this helps us to put the program in such a way that we meet your expectations and even exceed them, because at Teen Guide, we are all about greatness and helping people make better choices. So we would really appreciate your feedback, your comments, you know. Please keep it coming. I'm literally singing right now. So, oh, why is this program recorded? Think Guide Initiative is going to answer to that, but it's also to help us keep track of information. What we share here is valuable, and we want to be able to translate it into more things and to help reach more people. So while the video might not be shared, but the point and the things taken away from the video, so the highlights of the event, basically, we could note them down and also use it to gather information and share to more people and reach more people. Demlade says, I'd like to learn how to stay away from the dark side of the internet. That's interesting. I feel right now in this day and age, everything is merged together now. And the honest thing is we need to learn how to decipher and fine-tune what is in it for us and what we don't want. Just because everything is thrown in our faces doesn't mean we have to take in everything, you know? So I am very, very, very happy to see that we are sharing things, you know. If you would want to just unmute yourself and say something funny to keep the atmosphere going, you know, it would be really, really appreciated. I would just really, really love to hear people's voices. I know Zoom calls sometimes could feel like, oh, you're talking to yourself or you're just isolated. But here it's a whole interactive session and a lot is about to go down. How do you join Teen Guide? First of all, Chinonso asked a question in the comments, how do I join Teen Guide? And the first thing I have to say is you've already taken a step in the right direction, attending one of Teen Guide's events. And after this, I would just like you to Teen Guide would reach out to you in the comments and tell you what the steps you should take. It's not a tedious process to join. I mean, you just have to have the zeal and passion to want to make a difference. And the fact that you have joined us already shows that. So that will be taken care of. You can join. Welcome on board, in fact. Welcome on board. We're very, very happy to have you volunteer here at Teen Guide. While we are waiting to start presenting and keep on going, for those who just joined us, I'm going to reintroduce myself because you might be wondering, oh, who is this person that is talking in my screen? Oh, I see people wanting to volunteer. I'm so happy that this event is bringing out new volunteers and new people who are passionate about helping others. So, I'm so sorry for the noise. But then, while we are about to share, I said I was going to reintroduce myself. For anyone who just joined us, this is Teen Guide's event on adolescent health, why sex is everywhere. We want to have meaningful conversations to help us navigate these issues of life. And my name is Tolu Adirti. I am a volunteer here at Teen Guide. I'm a young person also, if you can't see it. And I am passionate about helping people make the right choices, just in line with Teen Guide. And my volunteer experience has spanned from 2023, if I believe. But then I have known about Teen Guide for a while now. But then with the volunteer experiences I did, some programs and initiatives we took part in, going to schools, we did Waka Well program to, help. We spoke about different topics in different schools, to help people and to help teenagers and young people, quite frankly, make better choices. And I have found a family in Teen Guide. I have met people who are part and parcel of my life till today. We have so many fun activities, but activities I would also learn from as young people. My name is Tolu Adirti, and I'm a volunteer here at Teen Guide. I'm currently joining us from the US today. So happy to have you. If you have not already introduced yourself in the chat, please introduce yourself, tell us where you're joining from, and tell us if you're a parent or you're a young person. To all the parents here, I am very, very grateful and happy to have you here. It is, as young people, sometimes we might feel like we know it all and we don't need people to guide us. But as I have grown up, I have realized that's not how life works, and you always need a guiding hand. You'll always need somebody to be there to help you. So I'm very, very grateful to all the parents who are passionate enough and are concerned about things happening with young people to join our call today and also to help us, tap from their wells of wisdom. We are young, but then we don't have as much experience as our parents in the house have. So we're very, very eager and excited to learn from you and also see how what we have learned here can impact other people. So in Teen Guide, it's not just about going out and like teaching other people, but also our lives, using our lives as living examples to indirectly impact other people, be it our closest friend groups, because you are basically like a collage of the people that are around you. You are made up of all the different things and all the habits of the people, your closest friends, everything just joins together and fuses into you. So if we're able to make better choices, do good things, oh, hello. Oh, hello, Mrs. Bukola. Oh, we're very, very happy to have you here. Hello, Mrs. Bukola Shaba. Oh, I didn't even realize. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. And for those who haven't still introduced themselves, please do introduce yourselves. We're very, very happy to see everybody. And as I was saying before, we as people, we're basically made up of everybody around us. And if we make better choices, we could influence the choices of the people around us. And it just help us become better people generally. So this event is one for the books, and I am excited to learn. I don't know about you, but if you're as excited as I am, please could you drop your favorite emojis in the comment section? I am very, very, so I really, really love to see emojis. Maybe it's because I'm young, but I don't know. I just love to see emojis popping everywhere. So please, could you drop your favorite emojis in the comment section? I'm also going to do the same thing too, just because I love my emojis. So I want to see your excitement everywhere. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I see your emojis coming. Not me seeing the skull. That's very, very funny. And a penguin. If that's your favorite emoji, then that's fine. I mean, oh, I could see the shades. Oh, so glad to have you, SB. Oh, I am so, so very, very happy to have all our parents in the house, our mentors, people we look up to. Oh, okay. Right now, I am going to hand over to Teen Guide, Wisdom of Teen Guide, to share a video with us. I am very, very happy to have interacted with you this far. And I hope that you have a really, really beautiful time. And I hope we meet all your expectations and exceed them. And most importantly, I hope we all learn something and take away something from here that we can implement in our lives. Thank you so much. My name still remains Tolu Adeoti. Oh, okay. Our video is coming up and it's taking a little bit more time than we expected. Oh, everybody here is so cute. Thank you for all the encouraging messages. Oh, you're proud of me. Thank you so much. I love compliments. I feel like helping people, positively reinforcing people helps them to be better. And I love everybody here in Teen Guide, and I love everybody here that is joining because quite frankly, it shows you have a passion. And while we're waiting for our video, I'll just, I don't want to bore you guys, but I know I love the sound of my voice. So I bet you love the sound of my voice too. That's a funny thing to say. But, I love the sound of my voice and I'm just here, And our video is up. So please listen and enjoy. Have a nice day.
I live in a society that surrounds me with visualized imagery, a constant reminder that it is made to mean something to find mistakes everywhere. It's not really a question. If I ask me, why should I be there? Of course, the answer seems obvious. No, that's true, Joel. In fact, it's hard to find great movies that are not sexualized, even when
Please
the
be
right
quiet.
films. Where are the protectors of ethics and virtues? Oh, I forgot. Adolescents are free to make choices about their body and how they want to use them. Ha! When my 16-year-old brother has changed his mind 5 times in 5 days about the courses to fill in the jam. So mommy and daddy should not advise or charge him about the right time for sex. We should just give ladies pills and guys condoms to prevent pregnancies and STDs. What about the anxiety, the self-harm, the depression, and mental health and wealth of adolescents who engage in sexual activities? Let's talk about these things, Yes, let's talk about this. Keep active, February 17th, 7 p.m. Join us online as we talk at Total Health in a world where sex is omnipresent.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Let me know in the comments if you can hear my voice. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Awesome. Great to have you all joining today. It's amazing to have you all joining. I'm going to just go through the names here and welcome us here individually if I can. Let me see if I can do this very fast. Okay, if I don't mention your name, forgive me. Caleb Bita, welcome. Jinon Sowa, welcome. Tolu, welcome. Tomiwa, welcome. Tomiwa, welcome again. How many Tomiwas do we have here? Technopop 2 Plus, welcome. You all are welcome to this conversation today. You will forgive me for not putting on my camera, and I just had to stroll down to get some fresh air. I know you've also been experiencing heat. I thought the topic would be why is heat everywhere? I thought the topic would be why is heat everywhere? But when I saw why is sex everywhere, it just it just brought something to mind. And today we'll be having a lot to discuss about. When I saw the theme, why is sex everywhere? Guess what I did? I went, there's one AI tool I have on my phone. So I punched the question there, why is sex everywhere? To even know if AI has sense. The response I got was that maybe because God made them male and female. So I asked the AI to again, just to be sure, because sex and gender, you can use them interchangeably. And I asked the AI to again, why is sex everywhere? The response I got was that maybe because it is cheap. Immediately, I uninstalled the app immediately. Immediately. But we will be getting some real-time and real-life answers here today throughout this conversation from start to finish. And your presence here only shows that there are people who still want to learn. It's difficult to get people to get to a place of learning. Everybody wants to go to a party. Today is Saturday. But when it's time to learn, only few people show up. And I'm glad you all meet here today. We will be having 3 talks. We're having 4 talks and 1 question and answer session where you would be given the opportunity of asking 2 people who have been married for a while now some questions that you have always longed to ask. And I want to be as as honest as possible. This is that platform where Think Guide is a family where we tend to ask questions and get answers, because some of life's most powerful insights come when questions are asked. And so it's a platform for you to ask your questions. You have it there. We're going to have three young persons. I've forgotten that Wisdom is still in there. So we're going to have two young people, and then Wisdom will come up with his ideas, and then we'll have Toby and Gimme also share value, and then we'll have one last talk session by Mrs. Sophia at some point here today. If you can look to your screen, you would see the timeline for our conversation here today. Quick and fast nonetheless, but you will benefit, I promise you. I hope you have your books ready, and I hope that you are set. If you're ready for all we have to say tonight, just punch in something in the chat. Let us know. Let me know. I want to know. So as I speak on, I will be checking the chat just to be sure that we have people throwing in their answers. Okay, when you hear love, what comes to mind? When you hear love, what comes to mind? When you hear love, what comes to mind? I will go through the timeline quickly and then call the next speaker. But I would also keep my eyes in the chat room so that I can catch your comment as you put it in. Okay, I would prefer that somebody, Tolu, can you help me punch it in the comments there? What does love mean to you? I'm going to read it out. What does love mean to you? What does love mean to you? Just put it out there. Just put it in the comments there. As they respond, I will get on that. Okay, so on the screen, if you can see it on the screen, beautiful, Tolu. Thank you so much for that. As you see it, I am loving it. McDonald's. David Lade, thank you for. All right, I am loving it, McDonald's. Okay, cool. So let's have more persons, please, put in their comments there as we go on. Awesome. So, Wisdom, have you taken down the image, the timeline we have already? Just put it out there. I'm going to call it again. Just call the flow again. Love means affection with someone special. I want to know, is this Mr. Kasali? Mr. Kasali, is that you? Let me know if this is Mr. Kasali. Mr. Kasali, is that you?
Hello, good evening. Yes, it's still Mr. Kasali.
Dr. Kasali, thank you for joining, because the comment you just posted is coming from a place of many years of union with your beautiful bride, I guess. We're happy to have you here. Amazing. Love means affection with someone special. And I hope you took your wife out, Dr. Kasali. I hope you took your wife out of Valentine's Day just to be sure that we are.
Not only on Valentine's Day.
Hey, that's nice.
Valentine's is just one day.
Mm-hmm.
We do that regularly.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I've come to realize that love means commitment. Absolutely. And commitment is in capital letter. Thank you so much. It means commitment. Amazing. Love to me means being selfless and being able to make sacrifices. Okay, to me, this is so we have Laura says love to me means being Laura, good to have you here, man. Good to have you here, Laura. Love to me means being selfless and being able to make sacrifices. Beautiful. Know also that Zoom is such a beautiful platform where you can express how much of value you got from somebody's comment. So if you like a person's comment, you can just go there, click on it. There's a particular emoji there to click on, and you can react to the person's comment there. Tolu says here that to me, love is the feeling of strong affection and affinity to someone or something unconditionally. Beautiful comments, and I hope we can have more. I hope the adults we have here, all the adults we have here, thank you so much for joining and also coming to lend us your voice. We'll now proceed to the next thing on the agenda. Bear in mind that we're going to give out gifts at some point, and I'm still racking my head to know what game we're going to put out there that will ensure that only the winner emerges with the answer. I know I will get to that. I've been praying, and I will hit the idea that we'll put out here. Okay. We're going to go to the first speech, pick one about 3 to 5 minutes of one of us who, at the time she was in Nigeria here, we used to do a program at Tingad called Waka Well. Waka Well. And it's a program that always requires us to go to a school to inspire the people. It's like the evangelism, our churches do, like evangelism, where we go to, we invade the school with some of our best minds, trained volunteers, and then communicate wisdom to them in the simplest way possible, get their contact, and then groom them to develop into greater leaders. And that we have done. For instance, Mr. Kasali on this call now, we've been to his school many times to inspire the students, and he's here today to tell us. Maybe Mr. Kasali, can you give us just one minute of your time? Tell us how well has impacted you guys. Go on, sir.
Yeah. I'll start by saying a big thank you to Team Guide. Your program, Wakawel, it has really been impactful to the students. It has been able to guide some of the students who are on the wrong path back to the right path. And aside from that, aside from Wakawel, Team Guide has been able to assist most of our indigent students. Some of them that they even think of getting JAM form to further their education. With the help of Team Guide, you guys have been able to do that. And I really want to say a big thank you to you for doing that in the years past and presently now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you so very, very much for that. And that's a testimony that just cements, that makes my feedback here very concrete as to the fact that over the years we have been able to inspire young people everywhere. And one of our volunteers, when I met her, Adimino, was very wonderful. She was at the time, I think I just saw her do something tonight, very receptive and open to learning, but open also to giving. And that's very important, not just receiving, but giving her heart. And I just heard 2 days ago that she is now in a different place where I will not say much, but we're glad that she's doing well and she is able to come up tonight to share with us her experience so far in the United Kingdom or USA. Tolu, where are you present? The UK or USA? Where?
I'm in USA.
US. That is how are you doing over there?
I am fine, thank you.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. So go on to share with us your experience so far, so good. How has it been for you as a young person and as energetic as you are over there? Over to you now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. For anyone who didn't hear my name before, my name is Tolu Adieti, and I volunteered here at Tingad last year. And I moved to the United States for my education. I'm currently studying business management at the University of Arizona. So I'm in Arizona, United States. And when I came here last year, I feel I had some certain expectations, when all the things we always saw on TV and we thought, our university lives were going to be like that, all the fun, how maybe they'll have just 2 classes and then that's the end. I was met with great shock. The amount of work wasn't what I expected. It was quite frankly more. But when it comes to social life and everything, the US is a very free place. And I have come to see that over time, you really just can't make assumptions. So I would explain what I mean. And I'm going to say this in line with what we're talking about. Why is sex everywhere? Coming to the US, obviously, I knew the US is a more woke country. So I knew that people were going to have different definitions of things and you couldn't just assume. So when I say different definitions of things, I had classes with people who believed otherwise, met different people who interpreted love in a different way. And the US, if you're not aware, is very open to homosexuality, people expressing their identities, all of those different things. And coming from Nigeria, I had very, very solid values. And I had some things I believed in. So I knew that conforming to some of the things that were here was just a no-no for me. So I needed to identify what they were. So I have met various people from different countries. Now I have friends from all over the world. And I think it's a really, really beautiful experience. But if I wasn't careful, I could get swayed by some certain actions and opinions of people, which could really taint my values and convictions. So I think my journey here has been insightful, it has been nice. it has been a journey of discovery also, and also a learning point for me, because people behave differently, and we might not always get what we expect. So in terms of love, I have met people, I have seen a lot of celebrations of things that if I was in Nigeria, nobody is going to celebrate Pride, nobody is going to perceive love as anything like that, or, and quite frankly, I'm in university, sex is everywhere. My school is a really big party school also. And so people have one night stands. There are a lot of things happen, and I think for me, it is honestly reminding yourself who you are and what you believe in. And I think that's what has helped me to stay grounded and not conform to some certain things. So I believe that has been my experience so far. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Tolu, for sharing that with us in about 3 minutes. And that was straight to the point, knowing fully well that if I picked anything from what you said, I think I picked that you always had to remind yourself, just reminding yourself of the values you hold so dear. Just let me ask you just a quick question. What are your top 3 values? What are your top 3 values?
Oh, okay. So it is so funny you ask that, because I do have a journal that says dream big over here. And I wrote down my major values. And for me, my first value is commitment to God. So I am a Christian, so I do hold my religious values very, very dear to me. And integrity and diligence. So commitment to God, integrity, and diligence. So those are my top 3.
Commitment to God, integrity, and diligence. Strong values you have there. Thank you for sharing. And we can't wait to hear bigger things about you. Thank you very much, Tolu. All right. Okay. All right, everyone. There you have it. Tolu just shared with us her experience so far and how she's been able to cope. She just got there, I guess. How many months have you spent there so far?
Not keeping tabs, but I think 7 or something.
7 months. Wow. Awesome. And I can tell you for a fact, if you keep to these 3 top values you have shared tonight, nothing can shake you. All right. Nothing can shake you. Thank you for that. It's impressive to hear young people speak this way as to the values they have. And you can't but imagine how great the future lies for our young people at Tingide. We'll now move to Sean. Sean will be sharing with us his experience as an adolescent over there. And there's something Tolu shared. I do not know if Tolu was the one who gave the theme for this particular conversation this night. He said there is sex everywhere. So I want to ask, we're going to have Sean share with us how he's been able to cope so far so good. Sean, are you there? Whilst I wait for Sean, you just let me know if you're there in the comment.
Hello.
Sean, are you here?
Good evening.
Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Sean. Before you go on, Sean, good to see your face tonight. Before you go on, Sean, if you're just joining, this is a Tingai's virtual event, and with the theme, Why is Sex Everywhere? We just listened to Tolu share with us so far so good. 7 months of her staying over there and seeing so many things, how she's been able to hold on to her values, and she's still standing strong and looking fresh, just like we just saw. Sean will be sharing with us tonight his experience so far as an adolescent and how he has been able to cope. Sean, over to you now.
Yeah, so I've been in the UK all my life, 19 years. I'm in university now, my first year. I started in September. But, sex has been prevalent through secondary school, coming into uni now. And yeah, with coping with it, I'd say the main thing that has kept me, on the right path is always remembering it's who you surround yourself with. For me, it's important to have a friend group, a set of friends that are really focused and their mind isn't constantly on, these sexual activities. In the UK, we're not as what's the word? I'd say I'd say over the top. as the US. Everything's a lot more implicit. You know what I'm saying? So people aren't as forward with their sexuality as compared to there, but I'd still say we're more forward than compared to Nigeria. Definitely. But yeah, as long as we keep having honest conversations about it, keeping it open, making sure that we're focused on the right things, I think that's the way to go always. You know, for me, I'm a Christian as well. So it's important. Sex is like an important thing to me. I think, especially coming to uni now, with the uni culture, it's been important to make sure I know where my head is as well. Find another friend group again that's also not so sex crazy, sex focused. I think that really pushed me to the friends I've made currently, because you come to uni and there are some people who that's their only intention. They're just there to engage in frivolous activities. But me personally, I'm there to do work, enjoy myself, really, just not in that way.
Okay, thank you very much, Sean. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. For what you said, I think you mentioned keeping the right company, and that's important. The Bible makes it very clear that he that walks with the wise shall be wise. It just makes it so clear there that when you walk with people who are headed towards the right direction, it's only a matter of time before you start considering that direction and then turn towards that path. Thank you. You also shared that we should focus on the right thing. And I must commend the team for this flow, this conversation flow, because we listened to Tolu, who has spent, I think, a larger part of our life in Nigeria and then just moved over there. And then we just listened to a young man who has been there all his life. What do you know, Aku? Let me even ask Sean, do you know what they call Aku?
Do I know anyone back home?
What do you know, Aku? Do you know Aku? Aku, do you know Aku?
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay, so you don't know Aku. No problem. We can go on to the next part of the conversation. So he spent his entire life over there. Tolu, do you know Aku? Tolu, do you know Aku?
Yes, I
ask Tolu. Oh, at that point, you know what I'm talking about here. Amazing. So to hear him say the things he has said as to how he has been able to keep himself, that for me makes a lot of sense. And I must commend the efforts by everyone. Tolu, thank you for sharing with us. And Sean, thank you for sharing with us as well. I hope we can stay, all of us, to the very end of the conversation, because we still have some parts of this conversation tonight that will require us to ask our questions. And then I hope if you have questions to ask, just get them ready. You have questions to ask, just get them ready. And also, I would also like for those of us who are here on the call, if it's possible for you to type in the comments what your top 3 values are, that would make a lot of difference. It make a lot of difference. What your top 3 values are. We listened to Tolu mention commitment, integrity, and diligence. We also heard Sean mention keeping good friends, association, right association, and focus. I'd like to have many of us who are on this call right now, please put in the comment what your top 3 values are. Let's see what our values are. And then maybe like we do HCF, highest common factor. We just see the one that seems to resonate with everybody on this call here tonight. Move now to the speech by wisdom. And wisdom speech is in 2 folds. It will experience so far so good. I see that many of us are trying to type in Shemilore. I see you, Shemilore. Yeah, I see you, I can see you there. Isabella, wow, beautiful. Demilade, I see you putting on the cap. That's awesome. That's very good. Well done. All right. I like for us to punch in the comment what your top 3 values are. Very important. We'll listen to Wisdom. Wisdom will be sharing with us his experience so far, so good. And also will be telling us what tools he has used so far to protect his heart. Maybe it is, Google Doc, maybe it is Canva, all of these tools. What tools he has used so far to protect his heart. Wisdom, are you ready to share with us tonight? Please welcome Wisdom Abiodun. Is Wisdom ready? Okay. Keeping the right company, so wise, moving with the right people. I see comments already coming in there. Let's have more comments in the chat room there. Wisdom, are you ready? Whilst we wait for Wisdom to unmute and take us on the journey, 4 minutes journey, sharing his experience and also telling us the tools he has used to protect his heart and to protect his heart. So far, so good. So that we can all learn from that and then see what happens. Wisdom, are you ready? Wisdom is not ready. I'm going to go to the comments. I'm waiting for Isabella's comments. I'm waiting for Shimilori's comments. I'm waiting for Demiladi's comments there. The top 3 values whilst we wait for Wisdom. Whilst we wait for Wisdom. All right. I'm sure also that some of us have things to say. We have things to say as we go on. Bear in mind that immediately after Wisdom's big speech of 4 minutes, you would have the privilege to say what you have to say. It could be about the values you've put in the comment or the chat. If something, an experience you want to share, just 30 seconds per person. We'll take about 3%. And then we'll move on to the next part. Remember that after Wisdom, we have 2 more. We have one family. We have a couple who will be sharing with us, ask them questions as we go on. And when it's that time, and then we'll also have Mrs. Sophia share with us from that place of motherhood. Just give us some words before we get, pretty much to the end of the event. All right, cool. So, Wisdom, are you set there? Whoa. Okay. All right, we need to just pen Wisdom's speech to when he's ready to come up. But for now, we would have our guests. Come up now. We'll have our guests come up now. I would request that if you have questions to ask, this is a time when you want to bring out some of the questions you've always had in your mind. And maybe they will start by answering the question, why is sex everywhere? Everyone, please put your hands together for these 2 beautiful individuals who are happily married and doing so well. Please welcome, just help me applaud them in the comments already. Applaud and welcome Tomi and Bimi Olariwaju. Please welcome them with a big applause. Let me see the applause in the comments. Just applaud, keep applauding, keep applauding, keep applauding, keep applauding, keep applauding, keep applauding. Thank you. Keep applauding. Thank you. Over to you, Tomi and Bimi Olariwaju. Thank you. We're happy to have you here tonight.
We are happy to be here. Let me just speak on behalf of me and Bimi. Bimi can just wait so they know that I'm my wife. I'm not dating any of the other people here. Yeah, great.
Okay, good to see you.
All right. So my name is Tomi Olariwaju. I am a youth minister at City Church Lagos, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my wife, Bimi. You want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. My name is Bemi Leke, and I am a graduate student at Arizona State University. So it's nice to see my sworn enemy, the Wildcat. Also, yeah, I'm studying for a master's in media arts and sciences, and I'm obviously married to Tomi Singh, and I'm excited to be here.
Okay. Yeah, so I was actually happy to see someone from Arizona. That's totally right. It's cool. Cool to see you. Cool to see all of you. I mean, your names now, not really your faces. But so I'm supposed to talk on why is sex everywhere. Okay. In my mind, that's pretty easy. Right. In my mind, that's pretty easy. Why is sex everywhere? I think I have two reasons I'm going to give. Why is sex everywhere? One, sex is sweet, right? I don't know. I don't know if you thought about that. Like sex is actually, in a sense, fun. Sex can be entertaining. There's a reason why torture is not everywhere. You get my point? Like it's not like we see people torturing everybody on the street. It's sex you find. Because sex it's pretty entertaining. Right. That's number one reason why sex is everywhere. Let's just get that out of the way. Two, sex is everywhere because we live in what I'll call an amplified time. Everything is amplified, maybe because of social media and stuff like that, but everything is really, really amplified. Like social media is like the megaphone to everything that happens in the universe, really, right? In every corner. So you can find out what's happening in Ireland, you can find out what's happening in Japan. Why? Because of social media. And I really don't think sex just started to be everywhere. That's always been everywhere. Again, like I said, it's just more amplified, just more known. So I remember one time there was a video of a 10-year-old. Can you all hear me well though? Great. There was a video of a 10-year-old in Nigeria
Yes.
who was doing something naughty with a couple of other 10-year-olds. And everybody was like, man, what is this world turning into? And stuff like that. And I was like, well, that's probably the wrong question. What is this world turning into? It's more like you're getting exposed to what this world has always turned into for a very, very long time. When I was 11, most of my friends were sexually active already. That was when I was 11. So it's like you didn't know about that because you didn't get it on social media. But really, like it's kind of about. I mean, that's always been. So why is sex everywhere? It's fun. It's entertaining. Two, we live in an amplified universe, right? But here's the problem with this, right? And why is this a problem? Here's the problem with this. If you really think about it, there are three major things that are the root of almost every evil that you find in the universe, in the world today. Three major things, just to make it interactive. Anybody? Do you know the three things that are the root of almost every wrong thing you find in our world today can be linked to three major things? Do you know that? Anybody? I really don't mind anybody just
Check the chat. Someone says money.
Money. Sorry,
Money and sex. Yeah.
Money.
Chat.
Yeah.
Sex.
I'm kind of money, sex, and what? One more thing. Money and sex. I need one more answer. Quick. Yeah, really close. Sex and money are very, very correct. Power. Thank you very much. Money, sex, and power. Everything wrong in the world is due to the mismanagement of those three things. Not because money, sex, and power are bad. Sex is good. Money is good. If I was in church, I would say, can I get an amen? Right. Money is good. Right. Power is good. The mismanagement of all those things, however, is what leads to the evil that we find in the world today. People mismanage these three things. Now, you are in teen guy. You are teenagers. You are teenagers that are meant to live a life of a difference. You're supposed to make a difference in the world. You're meant to change the world. If that is the case, then the one thing you cannot do is mismanage sex the way the entire world mismanages sex. What is insanity? There's a popular definition of insanity. They attribute it to Albert Einstein, really, but I don't know how true that is. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, right? Have you heard that quote before? And expecting a different result. Insanity is doing I'm hearing some feedback. Is that from me? I don't think so. All right, good. So insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You cannot change the world. You cannot make a difference if you are handling money, sex, and power the exact same way that the world or every other person is handling money, sex, and power. There's got to be a difference in the ways you actually manage it. Not because sex is bad, like I said, but there has to be a way to manage it. Because sex is like fire. You can either destroy a house with it or you can cook with it. It's left to you. Right. So how are you going to handle sex? How are you going to manage sex? That's the question you should be asking yourself. Not necessarily because, sex, I don't have anything to do with sex. Well, inevitably, at some point, you will have something to do with sex. All right. Sex is not bad. but the mismanagement of it is where the issue is. So how do you manage sex? Two things because of my time. I really wish I had enough time, but two things because of my time. How do you manage sex? Discipline and run. Discipline and run. I like all the advices that Sean gave an advice with community, just kind of people surround yourself with. Tolu also talked about having setting your heart on certain values, right? So I'm kind of borrowing a little bit of that at some point, but anyways, discipline. I understand the urge. Trust me, I was a teenager and I'm still human, so I do get the urge that comes with all of this. I understand how hard it can be. But here's an analogy that I've always found really, really helpful for me. If you find a guy walking on the main road who suddenly pulls down his trousers and starts to defecate by the main road, what do you say? What do you say? Anybody? Oh, we don't want to use our mics this time. All right. Yeah, you can correct. We say it's mad. I can't see the audio. I can't see the comments, right? We say it's crazy. We say it's mad. What if he says, but I feel the urge. But I really, really feel like doing it. I mean, it's human. It is human to defecate, right? I know most of you don't like to talk about it, but it is a very, very great thing for you to defecate. If you cannot defecate, you will be in the hospital, right? It's a good thing that you can defecate, right? Oh, somebody's got to say, oh, he feels the urge, so he can do it there. Who says it's crazy? Well, he feels the urge. Why do you think it's crazy? Because there's a time and there's a place for you to defecate. There's a time and there's a place. In the very same way with sex, there's a time and there's a place. If you do it at the wrong time, in the wrong place, with the wrong person, like, is everything all right? You get that kind of a thing. That's really what's supposed to happen there. Again, if we are going to change the world, if you as teenagers are going to set a different path for most people that have not experienced the things you have experienced, that have not learned the things you've learned, you've got to learn how to manage it. You've got to learn how to, okay, this is the time for this. This is the place for this. This is the person I'm supposed to do this with, right? And the way to manage sex, the right time, the right place, the right person is called marriage. That's essentially what that's called. It's not called dating. It's not called engagement. It's not called friends. It's called marriage. And I don't even think that's a Christian thing. Now I'm a Christian. I thought I work with the church. I don't think that's a Christian thing. I think that's just a human thing. Commitment is the best way to manage sex. And not just the commitment that comes with dating, not the commitment that comes with engagement, the commitment that comes with marriage. The commitment that comes with that. There's a kind of commitment you have when two people have proposed that we're going to do life together and we've committed to this in front of every other person called marriage. That's the best way to manage sex, because sex can be like fire. Sex is a serious issue. Many of you might not know this, but one of the ways in counseling, right? One of the ways you know when a couple is about to get a divorce, one of the first signs you have, they don't have sex. It's that serious. And let me tell you one of the ways I know that a couple, maybe they are dating, most likely will not break up on time, especially when there's a toxic relationship there. When someone is finding it hard to break up, they're finding it hard to break up. Not that I'll without fail, most of the time, 90% of the time, I know that you most likely either are having sex or you're engaging in sexual activities. Why? Because we don't have sex. Sex is a serious case. We don't have sex with just our bodies. Sex is a mingling of souls. We have sex with our head. We have sex with our hearts. Sex is not just a body thing. You have sex with your whole being. All right. So one of the ways to actually manage that is get married. Now the question is, are you ready to get married? No, don't have sex. Period. It's that simple. Discipline yourself. Watch what you take in. Back to the use defecating on the road analogy. Most of the time, the most disastrous thing that can happen to you is for you to feel like defecating when you're on a journey, or anybody. When you're on a plane, in a bus, like you feel like using toilet, right? What happens then? You ate something wrong. Demilade is raising hands. Am I supposed to? Or was that a mistake? Demilade, I saw your hand raised. All right, I'll just continue since you're not responding. So yeah, somebody feels like using toilet in the plane. You immediately go, what did you eat before? Right? What did you eat before you started the plane? And that's the way discipline works when it comes to sex. What did you feed on? What have you been looking at? What have you been watching? Who have you been rolling with? The best way, so here's a funny story. When I was younger, we used to attend camps of about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, 3,000 young people. Now, inevitably, the toilets are bad. The toilets are very, very bad. right? So it's about 4 days, 4 days camp. So you know what I usually do? I decide that I'm not going to use the toilet at all. That's what I decide to do. And here's what I do to make sure that doesn't happen. I don't eat regularly. And I don't eat just anything. I don't eat junks. I don't eat sugar, because all those things will lead to that. That's the same way sex works. If you are saying that I want to live a different life, then watch what you eat. Don't eat the junks, because if you eat the junks, you will feel pressed on the plane. And if you're not careful, you will embarrass yourself. And actually, that's the way discipline works. So discipline yourself, right? Then secondly, run. I'm running up with this. I'm sorry. I think I've used time. Oh yeah. This is the point where I embarrass my wife a little bit by saying that she has texted me. I say, wrap up, you're talking too much. All right, I'm running a bit. Run. How many of you have seen Avengers? Avengers fans. Anybody? Nobody? Wow. A little bit. Sean is like, yeah, I'm not so sure. Everybody should be Avengers fans. Those are one of. Anyways, never mind. Let me start going off here. Anyways, there's this scene. I don't know if you remember. I think it's in Thor 2, where Thor faced an enemy. Now, he's Thor, he's arrogant, right? You know Thor is very arrogant, he's brave, he's bold, he's all the kind of stuff, even though he doesn't have much power. Anyway, he sees a particular enemy, right? And what he does is he runs. He doesn't engage, he doesn't fight, he runs. Why? There's a time to fight, there's a time to take flight. You hear what I said? There's a time to fight, there's a time to take flight. You don't fight sexual desires, you take flight, you run. You don't say, you know what, I'm with this girl, we like each other, we're just in the same house, and I'm not going to fight my desire. You're not going to win, you will lose. Run. That's what's supposed to happen there, right? And sexual desires are like that. How do you manage sex? Run. Don't stay. For men, one of the things I wanted to talk about was when me and my wife were dating. I remember one particular day. Sorry, babe. I remember one particular day. I was supposed to come to our house, and she said, "No, don't come." Why? Just don't come. It's not the right time for you to be here. I can't deal with this right now. All she's doing, she was running. She was managing her sexual urges well. Because if this guy comes over, then when I start struggling, like, I don't want. Then you need to push boundaries. No. Run from it. So one of the, I'm a Christian, so I have to give a Bible reference and end it with this, right? Sex is good, but it's like a bomb. There are 3 men in the Bible that sex pulled down. Sex destroyed the strongest man in the Bible. Sex destroyed the wisest man in the Bible. Sex destroyed one of the godliest men in the Bible. Do you know who they are? The strongest man, Samson, sex. Wisest man, Solomon, sex. One of the godliest men, David, sex. See where I'm going with this? You're not strong enough. Stop. Run. Don't fight it. Run. Right. You're not strong enough. You can't fight. You can't win. Just run away until it's time. Until it's time with the right person who has the same values as you do, who is pursuing the same thing that you're pursuing, then you can have not just a mingling of bodies, but also a mingling of souls. Yeah, I'm done. I hope I've been at least been able to spark something for you to think about and consider and use for life. Thank you very much.
Well, I like for all of us to use the chat room to applaud Mr. Tolu for sharing all of that. Mr. Tomi for sharing all of that with us. Can we use the chat room to just applaud him as loud as possible? I want to hear that. I want to thank you so much for sharing this with us tonight. Well, when you were speaking the other time and you mentioned about defecating, Demilade raised his hand. I want to be sure, did you want to use the restroom, Demilade, when you raised your hand, just to be sure before
No, I
I
thought
go to what is next here?
Like, I thought she asked like if.
Okay.
I mean,
You thought you asked the question that required an answer, I guess. All right, cool. Thank you so much. You mentioned quite some points, but I'm going to ask a question, and then if you have a question to ask, you can just put it in the comments. I'll read it out, or I would ask you to unmute when it's time. It's amazing how when you were sharing your thoughts, Mr. Tomi, your wife was nodding her head. That's correct. You mentioned that sex is sweet. sex is sweet. You mentioned that we live in an amplified world, and those are really, really powerful points. I mentioned how that a way to deal with this is to discipline yourself. A way to deal with this is also to run. But there is also the question of the case of Joseph in the Bible. I don't want to go to prison. So there is prison, there is me having it. What do I do when I'm at that tight corner where either I do it or I lose my job, either I do it or I fail a course, either I do it or I go to prison. What do I do then? Yes, over to you, sir.
Can I answer on Tomi's behalf?
Thank you very much, Bimele.
Okay.
Well, I think either way, Joseph was going to face consequences. So what was going to happen was that if he had given in to Potiphar's wife, he wouldn't have had to have sex with her once. Chances are that sex would not be the only thing that he was doing. He'll probably have to plot against his master. He'd probably have to, do an entire scheme. And so usually it's not just sex. If it's at work, maybe someone's, okay, you guys are not working, but like, let's just take this further. Say it's at work, your boss is pressuring you. You're not going to have sex once. It's not going to stop with sex. It might start with sex. It won't stop with sex. It's going to be lying to other people. It's going to be hurting other people. So at the end of the day, the consequence of saying no might be instant, might be harsh, but I think in many ways it saves you from the consequence of other things that you would inevitably do, because once you start to give in, it's only a downward spiral. It goes down. There's no, I did it, now I'm free. No, you keep, it may not be sex. In fact, it may just be good once, but then you will still have to keep doing other things. Maybe that you have to lie to, present yourself as someone who is, trying to be faithful and just. But it's not just, it may start with sex, but it won't end with sex. So at the end of the day, I think it's hard. It's a hard decision to make, but then surrounding yourself with people, I think Sean mentioned community, can help you power through whatever consequence you have to face by saying no.
Mm.
Can I
All right.
put just a little side on what my wife has said?
Yes, please go on.
The road to making a difference was easy. Everybody will make a difference. Right? So there is a price to pay, and it is going to be hard. But remember, you're on a journey. And so the consequences for your actions, it's at a point in time. It's not the entire journey. There's still more for you to go. The road is not over. Your life still continues. And so there's still a chance for success, making a difference. I don't think anybody is too big to determine how successful you can be. I think that's something that Joseph probably understood, that God was totally in charge of his life. At the end of the day, Potiphar wasn't going to decide that. Potiphar's wife was going to decide that. Pharaoh was not going to decide that. Nobody could. God could. So, I mean, that's fair Christian.
All right. I think you've done justice to that. But just to give it a side that connects to some of us, those of us who are in school at the moment, you are at a point where that requires wisdom for you to break out of it. So you are at the point where, for instance, you see someone often every day in the classroom, you see yourselves often, and then there is this emotional attachment that comes there. You are asking yourself. So we are saying I should run, but this person is still within my vicinity. I see this person often. Is there a place of applying wisdom, and how do you apply wisdom? Do you have to cut off the person? What do you do when the person that you seem to have this emotional connection with is within your space? What do you do then?
Oh, that's still for us?
Yes.
Do you want to go? Or should I go?
Okay. I mean, when we say flee, we don't mean seclude yourself in a remote location. You obviously have to live and interact with people. But like you mentioned, wisdom is important. It's having emotions is not a problem. We all have emotions. Emotions are an entire spectrum, right? Question is, you don't have to act on everything you feel. And I think we're at a time in the world where just because you feel something, people think that you feeling something means that you are something or you must express something. How many of us have had crushes in this life? And Do you go and meet everyone you are crushing on and say, I like you? If we're being honest, we know that that's a disastrous decision, because some of the time you know that your crush is a crazy fellow. You just know that this one is illogical. This person is probably is toxic. You know, we like to use the word toxic. It's toxic. You just know that this is a horrible decision, right? So I think in the same vein, it's okay, I'm seeing this person. Still, the same principles apply. Discipline. Don't put yourself in a compromising position. Also try to gauge what kind of person that person is. So for instance, is person a person of faith like you, right? And it's not someone who maybe obviously knows of your affection and then wants to try to manipulate you to do something stupid. So that determines in a way how you treat the person, right? So me and I are big fans of, oh, don't date until we are supposed to get married. But we know that we don't live in our own utopia. And so we know that people might want to be in relationships. Why would we not advise? It's a question of what are those person's values, And usually, if we're being honest, we fancy many people throughout like secondary schools and even our life. And so most times, if you give it time, you will get over whatever it is that is, and it will pass. So it's the wisdom to understand, okay, where am I at? Where is this person at? Is this someone that I can still continue to interact with and trust that they're not trying to manipulate my emotions? Is this someone that I have to flee? You know how some people will be like, he's a bad boy, but I like him. Bad idea, bad boy, bad idea. Run, as like Tony said. So there's discipline, there's running, there's wisdom all in this. I don't know if Tony wants to add something.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you want to say something, Mr. Toby, before I go on?
Yes, maybe again, I'm really, really big on
please.
I'm really, really big on analogy. So maybe this analogy will help. There's a difference between the president's house and there's a difference between the marketplace. Everybody has access to the marketplace. Not everybody has access to the president's house or the president's office. Why? Because decisions are made there. There is a sense in which you need to sometimes limit access to yourself because you are different. You're not alike. So sometimes it has to be. I'm saying sometimes it has to be brutal. I can give out a personal example. One of this happened to me recently, right? Because again, I guess I'm going to grow up and I'm going to experience this. I mean, I'm married. A lady is chatting me up and she's going, "Oh, I just want to be your friend. I just want to do this." I'll probably air you for like a week or something. Then you send a message and go, is it that you don't want me to chat you up? Yes. Don't chat me up. I am married. Like this is very, very uncomfortable. I've warned you about this. Just stop, right? Again, is it brutal? Yeah, but I'm not a marketplace. That's my point. And you need to get that. Like you are like a president's office and limit access to yourself. Determine those that can have access to you. There are some people that will come as visitors, that is, they come and they go, acquaintances, right? There's some people that work there and have to come every day. There's some people that probably sleep there, determine levels. There's some people that you just let them stay outside the gate and just be watching you. And it's all good, right? So,
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. Are we okay? All right, I don't know.
And all of this with us tonight. I believe, please bear in mind that this is being recorded. You can watch this. We'll be ending at 8 p.m. We'll be ending at 8 p.m. But we also have some airtime to give out. What about 5,000 naira? What about 5,000 naira? But so stay till the very end so that you can be a part of that gift. Welcome a mother who will also share experience with us tonight, and as we all learn. Please welcome. This will be the last speech tonight. Please welcome Mrs. Sophia as she comes up for a quick speech. Welcome, a big applause, everybody, as we've always done in the comments. Let's applaud Mrs. Sophia as she comes up for 5 minutes of quick remark. Over to you, Mom.
Hello everybody. Good evening. My name is Sophia Vonlen, and that was my son Sean speaking. I'm incredibly proud. So it's a proud mommy moment for me. I am so excited. I've just sat here listening to everything that everyone has been saying, and what I'm just going to do is sort of just two things about why sex is everywhere. We've talked about the biological drive. We've talked about media and I think the other bit which I wanted to just touch on a little bit is culture. So I totally was delighted to hear what Tutu had to say about her experience in Nigeria and her experience in the US, and you're kind of comparing both. And I can imagine, and I must applaud you for being such a strong girl, strong young woman, and just sticking to your values because it's really important. Um, Now, in England where we live, it is everywhere, but not to the extent in, that you find in some other places. For example, if you go to Amsterdam, Amsterdam is in your face, is you can't avoid it. In Nigeria, it's less so. But I think what's really important for us to understand as young people is what what coping strategies do we have? What are those things that we can do to protect ourselves? What are those things that we can do to keep ourselves to abstain? And I really want to put that word in. What can we do to abstain so that we don't get caught up in this whirlwind of sex is on the internet and sex is on my phone, is on TikTok, is in the videos, it's all over the place. I remember the last time I was in Lagos, I saw something really interesting. I was somewhere, I don't remember the exact place, but I was somewhere called the Palms. I know it's in Lekki. I was driving past and there was this glass car, which was, I think, the scene from a video, and the girls were, they're basically naked and going up and down a pole, and then there was a musician singing in front of them. And now for me, who you know grew up as a young adult in Nigeria, that was such a huge shock because I thought, what? Where am I? Am I in Lagos? Am I in London? Where am I? How is this happening? But it just shows you that things are shifting, things are changing, and because the internet has is there, sex is everywhere, is what you call ubiquitous. It's on your phone, is everywhere. So there are many things that are shifting around cultures and social norms, and it's important to be aware of that. So in terms of coping, some of the things that have been talked about already, for example, setting your personal boundaries, that's really important. I think that on the one hand, I know when spoke to Auntie Kemi about this, on the one hand, I see what you're saying about sex being everywhere. But on the other hand, I mean, I'm a teacher, so I see things from both angles. I don't think it's a bad thing because I think it's important to be aware of it. It's important to be educated because I think that empowers you. But in your empowerment, you need to make sure that you're setting your personal boundaries. For example, using technology wisely. And somebody mentioned at the beginning about wanting to know about how to deal with the dark side of the web. Now, here's the point about the dark side of the web: it is there, but usually the dark side of the web doesn't come looking for you. You would have needed to have input a search word that would flag it up. And when it flags up, what do you do? So it's knowing your personal boundaries, setting those personal boundaries, and using technology wisely. So, for example, you don't have to be on TikTok or on Instagram for hours. You don't. There are better things to do with your life. Also, for parents who are listening, think about your children. You've given them a device. How old are they? Are they are they of the legal age for those social media platforms? For example, how many of us knew that you had to be 16 to use Instagram, or 16 to use TikTok, or even 16 to use WhatsApp? So all of those kind of things, and that's why I'm talking about the empowerment side of things, the educational side of things, and being aware. So that's another thing. The other thing I thought is useful is to educate yourself. I think of myself as a young adult, as a teenager. I mean, how did I navigate all of these? There was something Sean said, and I did not listen to his speech because I didn't want to. I wanted to be surprised when he talked about his friends. And I think that is the one singular thing that helped me. Um, I had a strong community, a supportive community of friends where we all kind of were talking about the same things. We had the same values, and it was easier So you think about the people you are surrounded with, because you're this, I think Tolu said this earlier, you're the sum of the people around you. So think of the people you have surrounded with. Are they sex crazy? Are they sex hungry? Is that all they talk about? Is that all that they share pictures? That those all the pictures they share? So think about it. What of their Pinterest? Who do they follow on TikTok? All of those things that will get you to think about how your friends behave. Those things are important. So having a very supportive community is important. And then the final thing I'm going to say to you is to practice how to say no. Now, if you're a people pleaser like myself, you might find that difficult. Okay, you want to say yes to everybody, but when it comes to the issue of sex, because it has to be your body, and as we just heard, it has to be your body, it has to be your whole being, and all of the emotions and psychology and everything that's involved. You need to learn how to say, practice how to say no. And I'll leave you finally with the words that very long time ago. I don't know if she's still alive, but there was somebody that just picked me up and helped me in a time where it was really difficult. And then I was about 17 going on 18. And she said to me, you need to learn how to say no to the tiniest things so that when the big things come, you would not struggle. I never forgot that. She was my pastor's wife. She was young. She was only 24. And so she was 7 years older than me. And I just really looked up to her. And she just kind of picked me up when I was, just totally lost. Now, that is something you need to learn. Learn how to say no. You do not have to be a yes person. Say no when the boundaries are being crossed. And I think, I'm also going to now push it on the one side and be gender-based a little bit, especially girls. So with girls, no is no. My body belongs to me. I should not be touched where I don't want to be touched. I should not be held when I don't want to be held. You don't touch my fingers if I don't ask you to. Learn to say no. And I think that's one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself in order to protect yourself from sex that's all around us. Because the thing is, I said to Auntie Kemi, it's going to increase. I hope you know that. This is yes, we're having this conversation, but it is going to increase. It would, the lines will be a lot more blurred in the next few years. So practicing all of these and just making sure that everything you've heard today, you go back and take them in and think about what works for you and using them. That will be very helpful. Thank you so much for your time, everybody.
All right. Thank you very much. Now we know why Sean is doing so well. Thank you so much for sharing the thoughts you have shared tonight. I know it's not easy training a child over there to be of the best possible behavior, and you've done that over 19 years now, and that speaks so well about your work.
Thank you.
She says use technology wisely, choose the right component. Someone said if you have 5 fools around you, you didn't count well, you are the 6th. You have 5 millionaires around you, you didn't count well, you are the 6th. The people you move with will most likely determine how far you rise. And also mentioned the idea that we should learn to say no. I've learned over time that learning to say no is a skill that has to be learned. But I just want you to speak on this very quickly, Mrs. Sophia, about people who have low self-esteem, and it's the reason they say yes every single time. What would you say to somebody who is on this call right now and has a low self-esteem, and the person is meaning to learn to say no? So go over to you, Ma.
Absolutely. That is such a good question, because the problem with people having low self-esteem is that they are not able to tell others that they have low self-esteem because they have low self-esteem. I don't know if you understand. So it's like a spiral. It's a spiral. You just keep going down, 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 down. I think the most important thing you can do, if you find out that you find it difficult to say no to just about anything, what you first of all need to do is to empower yourself. So there's several ways to do that. If you're a Christian, the Bible is your first basis. And then the second thing, is to be self-control and start practicing saying no in little things. Because when you say no in little things, then the bigger things become easier. And I'm talking from experience here. My friend is also should be able to testify to that. At my generation particularly, we are people pleasers. We just please anybody. Anything they said we should jump, we ask them, how high do we jump? We don't even say no. Okay. And some of us still struggle with that till today. But we now find as we've grown older, we're starting from the little things that are uncomfortable. I'm really sorry, I can't do that. Well, sorry, I don't have time for that now. Could I do that later? So it's starting from those baby steps, and the more you do, the more confident you feel.
Thank you very, very much for answering that question. We're going to have the vote of thanks now, and after that we are done. Please bear in mind that this has been recorded and will be made available on our WhatsApp page when uploaded. And Mr. Kasali, I hope you're having a great time. Just say it in the comments. I hope you're having a great time. And the link will be sent to you so that you can also send to your students to watch again and again, because this will help them. Mr. Kasali, are you there?
Yes. I'm really having a great time. And I want to appreciate
Awesome.
for
There's a
this.
lot. Yeah. So we're going to send the link to you so that you can help share with your students.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Wisdom,
you so
are you ready for the vote of thanks as we shut down tonight? Wisdom, are you ready? Abiodun, Wisdom. Wisdom, are you ready? All right. I think he's doing the makeup, trying to make up. Wisdom, are you ready? As we close, I must appreciate all of our speakers. Okay, cool. Wisdom, over to you now.
All right, good evening, everyone. And wow, what a little bit has been. So good to see some familiar faces, and better still to see new faces joining us here at Stingray for this meeting. And thank you so much. Thank you, Sharon and Sophie. Always good to hear from you. Thank you to you and Mr. Pelumi, of course. You always say Africa compared for a reason. For all the guys that are speaking, thank you all so much. So not to take too much time, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen as the wanting to share some tips on really, because I mean, for us, it's easy to listen to all this, but our digital habits, as we would say, would also put us in positions where we are more exposed to certain things. And I do believe that how we are disciplined online is a big deal, and it's a big step towards us being that person we want, that is able to say, oh, I can't engage with content like this, or I can't engage with content like this. So briefly, I'll be sharing my screen. Just looking for the right tab. Yeah, sharing my screen so I can show some examples of what I'm talking about when I say like digital discipline, because like there's some small steps we can take online, on Instagram, and even when we surf the web, that could make this person will most likely like content like this. This person most likely wouldn't engage with content like this. And I think when we understand that, then it helps us all to be less exposed to the things that could land us in trouble. So give me a minute, let me just share my screen. And, yeah. Okay, I think I'm sharing. Okay. So please, if you can see my screen, just give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the chat room.
Yes, you can see your screen.
All right, great. So you probably can see, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo as the first post there. And no surprise, yeah, I'm a big fan of football. And it's quite interesting, because like the people who follow, you might just feel like, oh, it's normal. You can see this guy singing and everything. So you already know that, like, I love music too. And that's Rufai Oseni, for those who know him. Basically, your digital habits could give a whole profile of who you are. And companies, this is how they get to like send you the content they want, right? And you might feel, oh, it's just Instagram, it doesn't really affect me. But then I'm going to show you how this goes way beyond like just using your everyday apps, right? So if you take it to this next tab here, this is called my ad center. And this is Google's page. This is how Google gets to like know your preferences, know the things you like and the things you don't like. And based on these preferences, they get to push content to you. Now, the data they collect from the apps you use, the website you go to every day, from TikTok to Twitter, oh sorry, X, to Instagram, Facebook, or whatever the likes could be. They collect all this data and they build a profile of what you probably would like and things you would like. So not to talk too much and show you, like, this is my, if you check the website, you find out that it's my adcenter.google.com/home. That should be enough to get you to where you can check your profile, right? And I'll be leaving a link for anyone who wants to go, see what's their online profile for Google has been. Now, this is just Google, and believe it or not, there are hundreds of websites that collect data on everything we do when we surf the web, right? So if you check mine, you see your ads, your choice at the top. And if you come down, you see that it has categorized some of my preferences, some of the things I would easily engage with. And online there, you would see social networks and online community. I mean, we're talking about Tinder, right? The next one, football. Now, who remembers the first thing we saw when we went to IG? Ronaldo. Mobile phones and accessories. I'm a big tech fan, and I engage with techies a lot. So you can see casual games, you can see credit and lending. Oh, I didn't know that was even there. So yeah, you could see investing, you could see colleges, universities for secondary education, email and messaging, graphic and multimedia software. Now, as it says here, well, I think I clicked on. Right. Yeah, as it says here, this is even your trending ad topic. So like this is them even trying to say, oh, recently these are the things you have been up to. But if you go down a bit, you will see your latest, and those are the ones that are even a bit more tricky. So of all the posts that are engaging, you will find web design. If I can zoom in a bit here, you will find web design and development, light and lighting, graphics and multimedia software, books and literature, sports fan gear, and so on. Now, this is me, all right? But how many of you can bet that if we go to your ad profile right now, we will find things like, Big Brother Niger, I don't know, AFCON. Okay, AFCON is a good one. But things that could really expose you to the things that you still complain about. Like everyone keeps shouting sex is everywhere, right? But basically, I'm saying that there are steps we can take to limit our online activity and how we get exposed to things that could make us feel out at the end. Now, if just a quick one, if you don't want, if you want Google to stop sending you more of this content, literally all you have to do is hit the minus button. So you can see that it's already saying if you are like this. So for anyone I see, and there's a ton, if you keep scrolling, like if I hit the see all button, you will find a whole profile of literally everything I've engaged in my time surfing the web, right? And so it's left for you to say, oh, I like this. Oh, I didn't even know perfumes are flavored. See. So yeah, it's there for you to say, I like this, I don't like this, and all that. And this is from Google, right? As I said, that there are hundreds of others that are still collecting your data. But there's one we could do right from Instagram, and I would go there in a bit, right? So if you go to your feed, which is search, right? Or sorry, explore. I'm using web. If you go to explore, you will find contents, right? Like the IG suggests to you, and then it is left for you to say, okay, this is a bit of luck. But yeah, you find content based on the one like like and all that, and based on the one you start tapping on, keeps collecting data, right? Now there's a way we could change the way these AI tools about us and hence what they show us. And it's nothing. All you have to do if you like and you feel like, oh, okay, that's not correct. Find a post you like, but you know it's not right. All you need to do is click on that.
It's echo from your end.
Let me try. Okay, this is better now.
It's perfect now.
All right, thank you. So I was saying, like, if you click on any of those posts that IG suggests to you, and I'm talking about IG now, you could be on Facebook, you could be on X. If you go towards the, just gonna minimize this. If you go towards the right-hand side, you'll find these three dots. And I'm using my browser, my web browser, but even from your phone, the same thing applies, right? You will find these three dots and you'll find something like, yeah, I don't think I can find it yet, but you see something like not interested. So guys, if you do that right now, even on this call, if you go to IG and you click on any post that you find on your feed, right? It should, and you see the three dots by your side. If you go there, you'll find the option not interested. When you click on that, IG will tell you that, oh, we suggest less posts like this. And it doesn't just take one click, right? Like you continuously have to do that to let the AI algorithm understand that, oh, this person doesn't want any more posts like this. And it might take a bit of a while, but after some time, then you know that that social media page rather, is flushed of all those things that you don't want to be exposed of, right? And I feel this is just one tool that we all as young persons, because of course we engage with digital content a lot, right? So this is one thing we could do on the separate platforms we use that could make us better disciplined. All right, thank you guys. I hope this was helpful.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Wisdom, for that. I'm guessing if you missed out on the things he shared tonight, bear in mind that the video, again, like I said before, will be uploaded. The link sent to us so that we can all gain access to see the things he has said and to work on them. The idea is to limit yourself to what you're exposed to. That's it. To limit yourself to what you're exposed to. Just narrow down your focus to the things that really matter and count and can inspire you. We're glad you have joined us tonight from beginning to this time. We appreciate your effort so far. If you go through the chat, Mrs. Kemi already dropped a vote of thanks. I'm going to read it out. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. ThinkGuide is a big family of parents, teachers, donors, board members, volunteers, young leaders, and teenagers. I see representatives of all these categories here tonight, and we are grateful for all of you and the unique contributions you bring to ThinkGuide. If you need any support about the topic we have looked at today, please reach out to ThinkGuide on 0809 945 4275. Again, 0809 945 4275, or it's on WhatsApp. Join us next month on the topic Fake It Till You Make It. Okay, Fake It Till You Make It. Amazing topic. And I look forward to having all of us join again next month. Thank you all for joining tonight. We appreciate your presence.